Well, hey there, and welcome to our little guitar workshop under the tree. Today we're going to use drop D tuning. So we want to take our low E string and drop it down to a D. So you can tell by your fourth string what your sixth string should sound like. So drop it way down there till it's gone from the E down to the D. And let's just check our tuning. That's going to be a low D, A. So everything's standard except for the drop D. Our usual D string, the fourth string. The third string is a G as usual, B, and E. And the focus of this exercise, of our little workshop this morning, is to have the thumb playing back and forth, tick tock, tick tock, 6 4 6 4 6 4. And then we're going to try a little motif over top of that. So we're going to play it in what we call D-modal tuning, which is like a cross between a major and a minor scale. So we're using the major chord, the D major chord, standard D chord you've used for so many things, but we're using the minor seventh or the dominant seventh, in this case, it's a C. So your full C chord would look like this, but we're not doing that. We're just leaving these open strings to play, and we're just playing this first finger on the first fret of the second string. So we have, and believe it or not, that is a full C chord because it has the 1, the C, the 3, which is the E, and on the third string, it has the 5, which is the G. So we're going to go back and forth between D to C. Let's just try it. Let's just get this back and forth. The cicadas are coming to join us. There's a dark cloud on the horizon, but we won't mind if it brings us a little bit of rain because we kind of desperately need the rain. Cool things off and it'll dampen things down for the square dancing later on. So we're going to hit it. Oh, hear the train off in the distance? I like that. So we can hit D and then C, which is just one finger, right? Playing the first three strings all at once if you can with 3 fingers. So we can even do it as call and answer. I'll play D, you play D, I'll play C, you play C, I play C, you play C, I play D. Nice. We're going to crowd this up with a whole bunch of things, but do it whatever you're comfortable with. So try something new. We can still do that as a call and answer. So I play. Let's just mess around with that for a little while. So the D, you can add the parts on top. Now we're going to try with our D chord in another place. So we make an A chord. Maybe you make an A chord like this with 3 fingers there. But just think about what's on the first 3 strings, because that's all we're messing with here. So A chord might be just like that on the first, on the second and third strings, 2nd fret. But to make it into a D, we have to move it up until it's at the 5th and the 7th frets. So let's put our first finger there on the 5th fret of the first string. We're going to put our next 2 fingers on the 7th. That way we've got, that's our D, back 2 frets to make it a C. Your turn, my turn, your turn, and back up to the 5th and the 7th frets. So let's try that again. Your turn, C, and your turn, C, and your turn, and back to the D. Then let's just take 2 of those, just the 1st and the 2nd strings. We're going to slide 2nd string and then hit the 1st string like this. My turn, your turn, back up again. Works well as that call and answer. So we start off with the D to the C and the C back to the D. Then we move it up to that 5th and 7th frets again. And down to the 3rd and the 5th. Your turn. That's a C chord now in an A position. Then just on those first 2 strings. My turn now, your turn now, and back to D. Good. Now what we want to do is experiment with 1 string at a time. So it's natural to start, because we're in D, on the D note, which is on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and just go 3, 5, 7 like this. Your turn. And then down to that C. Any which way you do it. There, that's better timing. Let's try that. Da da da. 5, 3, 5. Your turn now. And then let's take it up further and go 7, 8, 10. 7, 8, 10. So there we go. 7, 8, 10. 7, 8, 10. 10, 8, 8. On the 2nd string, of course. vibrato. Then combine all these things. I can smell corn cooking. It's going to be corn tonight. Kind of odd that they'd be cooking it so soon. Then just try. And just mess around and make up your own things. Just on the 7th. Anything to keep that thumb doing this job and play back and forth between them. Then try the next string and try improvising over that, so you get to know the scale. So here we'd start off again on the 2nd string, but go immediately to the open 1st string, and I'm going to go. Up to the 3rd. This is part of the C. Mess around with that. You can do 1 string at a time, and then you can start messing around with any 2 strings at a time. So we might get. Sounds like they're doing little construction. Probably that part of the stage that broke last night. Just something to play around with. Have a good day.